are you all trying actively in some way trying to unlearn what you learned from Scientology?
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
and how do you actually do that?
Trial and error.
It's so true. When I first left, it was like the first week that I had nothing to do with the church, and I found myself walking around the house. Like, what am I going to do now? What am I going to do?
Right.
It was like this empty space. And then occasionally you would say to me, here, why don't you read this book? And even, it was a self-help book, and I was like, it was really hard for me to read these books. But I did start reading them, and you actually find that you actually could learn and be helped with your own self-awareness through these.
What's been the hardest thing for you to let go from your Scientology world?
Well, it's the fight. The main tone of a Scientologist is anger, because they have what they call a tone scale, and this tone scale is taught to every Scientologist, and it's ingrained in everybody's head that below a certain point means death, and it just so happens that they use the anger part, which is in the middle, as anything at anger and above is good. The Church of Scientology taught me everything in my life. They taught me to attack my critics, and now I'm attacking my critics. My critics are now Scientologists. But what I don't think I've adjusted to is the fight. My fight to defend something that I thought was so good is now the same passion and fight that I'm using to fight them, and I'm always in fight mode.
Is it possible that the anger that you then exhibit, of course it's learned behavior, but is it also masking the pain of the fact that no one has stood up for you?
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
It's very normal to be talking, yelling, demanding you're abusive, and it's okay to be physical. They teach you not to react to being abused. They teach you not to react to, being harmed, basically. If you react to things like that, a Scientologist will look at you and go, the f is wrong with you?
Yeah,
They'll just say, get it together.
And I guess, to that degree, I still have some of that. Like, I'm listening to you now, and you go, well, what haven't you given up? And to some degree, I have to say that that's still with me.
Yeah.
Why are you reacting?
We don't really like to be emotional, and we don't really like to go there. And that's for a few reasons. One, because we were raised in Scientology where real emotion other than anger is not really looked upon kindly. And so it's not something that Scientologists in general like to really get into.
In the Sea Org, you're taught, make it go right, figure it out, whatever it takes, get it done, get the job done, and nothing else is acceptable. You have to have a balance.
Right.
And when you leave Scientology, your balance is like you don't have a balance. It's like, it all has to get done now, we have to be busy, everything has to go, 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 no breaks, don't stop, what are you doing? How come you're sitting down? Let's go.
Right.
Like, that's normal.
You're asking us, on a deeper level, what is it? And there's an anger and there's a fight type mentality that you're always wrong. And so in the real world, you're still fighting. You're still fighting to be right. You're still fighting to be heard. You're still fighting. You're fighting everybody because no one ever fought for you. And so you get kind of raised with this you're not good enough thing. And so you fight for that makes no sense.
Right.
And you never have to deal with your demons in that way, and that side of you that's confrontational and a fighter and somebody who's willing to bury somebody, is something in Scientology that's very much validated.
You get used to being treated a certain way within the church, and you feel like most of the time if you're not, contributing
money, if you're not doing enough time, if you're not achieving certain goals in Scientology, if you're not somewhere on the bridge, people.
So you just don't get appreciated or acknowledged unless
You're
You're
writing
doing
a check.
something astronomical.
And then the parts
and then
of
your
you-
self-worth goes down. So
Yes.
then you get used to being treated like that you accept crumbles
Mediocre,
of
yeah.
good things from people instead of being like, no, I'm worth a lot more than that. F off.
One of the hardest things to let go is the idea that people pull bad things into themselves. And so you lose the compassion, the ability to be compassionate, and you
Right.
struggle with that.
Right. You feel like anything that happens to you is because you created or did something wrong. So I feel because of that, I don't have compassion for others.
Right.
Do you know?
Yes.
Yeah, I think that's very true.
And if you are looking at yourself as a victim in any way, that is the lowest form of person you could be in Scientology. Everything that's happened to you is because you made it happen. And that ranges from abuse for physical, sexual, and you getting into a car accident, you're basically told that was your fault, if nothing else, for simply being there. And I think the other thing that everybody deals with too, getting out, is, and you know, including myself, is that anything bad that happens to us is because we're not in Scientology.
Does
Do you
that
see what I'm saying?
that comes into your head now?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I haven't considered myself to be a Scientologist for 10 years. And still, I know that there are things, and the way that I might look at something or talk about it or address it, still I catch myself and go, wait, is that really what I think, or is that how I have been taught to think? It's a testament to the power of the brainwashing and the mind control of Scientology that it is so difficult to shake it.
Are you okay? What?
I want to buy some weed, that's it.
No, you shouldn't be buying weed.
I want to smoke weed. That smells loud as whatever y'all have on that pizza smells good.
Got you.
It smells good.
Got you, boo. Be careful, yeah? Here's what's so funny. I want to save her, you know what I mean? Like, I want to do something about it. Like, I want to go tell her she needs to go home. Me as a Scientologist walking away from her right now, like I'm feeling emotions of guilt for not doing anything about it. It's like that girl coming up to me and asking me if I had drugs would only reiterate to me as a Scientologist, I better get back. The world needs me. Look how f***ed up it is, you know? Our work is so important. That's the mindset.
Even though I'm talking to you right now, I'm saying to you that I'm done. Even as I was saying all the things I was saying, when I went in there in the back and one of the staff said, thank you so much. It's been horrific hearing all of these horrible stories, you know, the damage that it's caused. You know what my response was in a corner of my mind? Ramina, oh my God, what have you done? You're preventing people from getting on the bridge. And I went, whoa, wait a minute. What am I thinking? Why am I even thinking this? It's programmed in you.
There's a part of me that feels like such a hypocrite to sit here and attack something that I was part of my whole life. Because I was offended by people turning on the church. And now I'm that person.